Bum bada bum bum bum. Ha ha ha. So stupid. Hey, 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 hey. Good God. Get it. Get it. Bada 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 bada.
Don't change your style now that you've reached the top. Don't lose your friends by what they've got. Remember beneath the glittering gleam. Like everyday people, you're just a human being. Superstar, now do you know who your real friends are? Talking to you. Superstar, remember how you got where you
I'm eventually gonna get like some fucking virtual drumsticks. I'm gonna actually have drums. It's gonna be sick. But that's for the future. I love this song. Alright, let's see here. What do we have going on? Okay, pause that. I really need to get my macros. Let's see. I am gonna make an executive decision. Okay, that's better. Alright. Fuck yeah. Alright, let me get chat back up. Alright, fuck yeah. Alright, let's start off with the first one. Let's see. I want to devise a workout plan that will allow me to become Super Saiyan. That's the plan. AI! Beral, Cal, Tobal, Al, Delta! As you begin your quest to become a Super Saiyan, you realize that it will take more than just lifting weights and doing cardio. You need to train your body and mind to unlock your full potential. You start by hitting the gym and utilizing all the equipment available to you. You lift weights to build strength, do cardio to improve your endurance, and high-intensity interval training to increase your explosive power. But you also incorporate yoga and martial arts to help you focus your energy and improve your flexibility. As you continue your training, you begin to feel a strange energy within you, as if you were about to power up like a Super Saiyan. You try to harness this energy, and to your surprise, you shoot out a small energy blast. Excited about your progress, you continue to train harder than ever before, determined to unlock your full potential and become a Super Saiyan. Go try out my powers on an unwitting pedestrian. Oh. Oh. Okay, fine. On. Okay, hold on, let's see. I like how the AI tried to decide the story. It's like, nah, bro. I just gotta get more creative. Let's see. I'm just gonna change that to test. Okay. Go test out my powers and see if I can beat up a bad guy. Okay. You decide to test out your newfound powers and see if you can take on a villain. You head to the city and soon come across a group of thugs causing havoc. You step in and confront them, powering up into a Super Saiyan. The thugs are intimidated by your explosive energy and back off. But then, a more formidable foe appears. The villain is a towering figure easily twice your size. But you are undaunted and charge towards him. Unleashing a fury of flying kicks and punches, The villain, however, is no pushover and fights back with his own devastating kicks. You both exchange blows, each trying to gain an upper hand. But then, you power up even further, unleashing a massive ki blast. What is that? Ki or no? Is it ki or chi? I don't know. That sends the villain flying. As you stand victorious, you realize that your training has paid off and that you've truly become a Super Saiyan. Let's see. Shenanigans. Run around causing havoc and shenanigans. However you spell that. Did I have that right? I think. No. Thank God for autocorrect. Ba-da-ba-da-bop. Ba-da-ba-da-bop. Feeling invincible after your victory, you decide to run around and cause some havoc. You fly into the air and destroy buildings with ease, unleashing energy blasts and causing explosion wherever you go. People scream and run in terror as you wreak havoc on the city, but then you hear a cry for help. You see a group of innocent civilians trapped under the rubble of a collapsed building. You quickly fly over and use your powers to lift the debris off them, saving their lives. You realize that with great power comes great responsibility, and that you need to use your powers for good. You strike a victory pose and look out the city, ready to continue your training and become an even stronger Super Saiyan. This one is kind of lame. Let's see. What else do I have? What else do I have? Come on. What a Shamil. Okay. Okay, here we go. I had this one saved from earlier. New story. A group of talking animals try to sneak into a fancy restaurant for a meal, but chaos ensues. Once upon a time, in a world where animals could talk, a group of friends decided to try their luck at sneaking into the fanciest restaurant in the city. They had heard that the food was to die for and they couldn't pass up the opportunity. The friends included a sly fox, a brave deer, a wise owl, and a curious raccoon. As they arrived at the luxurious restaurant, they were in awe of the impressive entrance, gleaming chandeliers and fancy carpet. They quickly realized that they were underdressed for the occasion and needed to sneak in without being noticed. The fox came up with a plan for the group to sneak in undetected. The plan was to disguise themselves as a group of humans by standing on each other's shoulders and wearing a trench coat. The deer would be the base, with the owl and the raccoon stacked on top. As they made their way towards the entrance, chaos erupted. The deer's legs buckled under the weight of his friends, and they all tumbled to the ground, revealing their true identities to the shocked guests. The restaurant erupted in chaos as the animals scurried to escape capture. A waiter attempts to catch the animals in a net. water. As the animals frantically tried to escape, a waiter in a tuxedo appeared carrying a large net. He was determined to catch the animals and bring them to justice for causing chaos in the restaurant. The waiter snuck up on the animals and made a quick lunge with his net, but the wily fox was too quick for him. The fox dodged out of the way, causing the waiter to stumble and fall into a nearby table. Dishes and glasses went flying everywhere, adding to the chaos. The other guests in the restaurant were now fully engaged in the chaos, with some trying to catch the animals and others trying to avoid being hit by the waiter's flailing net. The owl and the raccoon quickly worked together to distract the waiter, while the deer led the group to an exit. The waiter was so focused on trying to catch the animals after that, he didn't notice the animals slipping away. The animals breathed a sigh of relief as they made their escape, but they knew they couldn't stay there in the open for much longer. The waiter and other restaurant staff would be looking for them, and they needed to find a place to hide. The waiter calls in a robot with night vision to hunt them down and secure them. Stupid robot. As the animals were looking for a place to hide, they heard the clanking of metal footsteps. They turned to see a sci-fi robot with night vision goggles scanning the area for targets. The robot was weaponized with advanced features, and the animals knew they needed to act fast to avoid detection. The fox quickly came up with the plan. The group would split up and try to confuse the robot while they searched for a hiding spot. The deer and the raccoon would take one direction, while the fox and the owl would take another. The robot was searching in stealth mode, but the animals were able to hear it coming from a distance. The deer and the raccoon took cover behind a nearby dumpster, while the fox and owl climbed up a tree. The robot's night vision allowed it to see the deer and the raccoon hiding behind the dumpster, and it quickly moved in to capture them. The fox and owl saw what was happening, and they knew they needed to act fast. The owl flew down from the tree and landed on the robot's head, while the fox jumped on its back. The robot was thrown off balance by the sudden attack, and the deer and the raccoon were able to escape. The fox and the owl quickly joined them, and together they ran towards a nearby park. As they reached the park, they found a large bush to hide in. They could hear the robot's footsteps getting closer, but they knew they were safe for the time being. They caught their breath and tried to come up with a new plan. The animals quickly run to a nearby store and build a device able of defeating the robot. Or hold on, I'll put hopefully. The animals knew they needed to come up with a plan to defeat the robot. They quickly ran to a nearby electronics store, hoping to find the parts they would need to build a device that could take down the robot. The store was filled with neon lights and rows of computers, gadgets, and technology. The animals quickly searched through the cables, screens, keyboards, mice, and headphones, looking for the right components to build their device. The raccoon's quick thinking led them to a shelf with innovative and futuristic gadgets. There they found a small device that could emit a high-pitched sound that could stun any robot. The deer and the raccoon quickly went to work, using their skills to reconfigure the device to emit a sound that would be strong enough to disable the robot. As they worked, they could hear the robot's footsteps getting closer and closer. They knew they needed to work quickly before it found them. Finally, after what felt like hours, the device was ready. The animals activated it and waited for the robot to arrive. The robot came charging into the store, but as soon as it was hit by this high-pitched sound, it froze in its tracks. The animals saw their opportunity and quickly ran out of the store, leaving the robot behind. As they ran towards the exit, they could hear the robot starting to reboot itself. They knew they needed to get out of there fast before it started chasing them again. Attempt to evade the robot by running through a nearby carnival. The animals ran fast as they could out of the electronics store and found themselves at the entrance of a nearby carnival. The bright lights of the Ferris wheel, carousel, and other rides filled the air with excitement. They knew they could lose the robot in the crowd and and decided to run to the carnival. The place was crowded with people playing games, riding rides, and enjoying delicious carnival food. The animals ran through the crowd, weaving in and out of people, hoping the robot would lose their trail. As they were running, the deer spotted a bumper car ride and quickly signaled the group to follow her. They quickly jumped into the bumper cars, hoping to blend in with the rest of the riders. As they were driving around, they could hear the robot getting closer. They knew they needed to come up with a plan to avoid it. The owl quickly flew up to the top of the ride and saw the perfect opportunity. There was a large pile of stuffed animals near the exit of the bumper cars. The animals quickly drove toward them and started throwing the stuffed animals at the robot. The robot was momentarily confused by the sudden barrage of stuffed animals and slowed down. The animals quickly took this opportunity to drive away and hide in a nearby funhouse. They knew they couldn't stay there long. Tell me if you've heard this before. But they hoped it would be enough to evade the robot. As they were hiding, would you believe it? They could hear the robot's footsteps getting closer. They knew they needed to come up with a new plan fast. Tired of the games, the robot acted its smell sense mode, while the animals attempted to hide in the funhouse. As the animals hid in the funhouse, they could hear the robot approaching them. They knew it was only a matter of time before the robot found them. Suddenly, the robot switched into its smell sense mode, and the animals realized they couldn't hide from it anymore. The deer quickly came up with a plan. She knew that the funhouse had a lot of twists and turns they could use for their advantage. The animals quickly split up, running in different directions to the funhouse to confuse the robot. The funhouse is filled with colorful, twisted corners, mirrors, obstacles, traps, clowns, and spooky decorations. The animals ran through it, dodging the obstacles, trying to stay one step ahead of the robot. The raccoon saw a pile of rubber balls and quickly threw them at the robot, hoping to distract it. The robot stopped to analyze the balls. Robots, hey, fun fact, this might help you one day. Robots always stop to analyze balls. So, I mean, maybe you could use that to your advantage one day? The robot was unable to find them and started to move on. Oh, I missed the spot. Hold on. The deer signaled the group to follow her, and they quickly ran through a series of mirrors that disoriented the robot. The robot was unable to find them and started to move on. As they were leaving the funhouse, the animals realized they had lost the robot. They let out a sigh of relief and looked around, trying to figure out where they were. Those animals are persistent. They're just straight memeing on this robot. The robot transforms into a Megazord and begins galloping on all four paws, furious to find the animals. Wait, what's that old TV show on Toonami? It had like the mech robots. I can't remember. Oh well. Megazord's close enough. There we fucking go. There we fucking go. As the animals were trying to figure out their next move, the ground started to shake. Suddenly they saw the robot transform into a giant Megazord galloping on all four paws, furious to find them. The animals knew they had to come up with a plan fast. They looked around and saw that they were in a carnival. The raccoon had an idea, and he remembered a ride they saw earlier in the carnival, a roller coaster. The animals quickly ran to the roller coaster and got on. They hoped that the Megazord wouldn't be able to follow them on the ride. As they were about to take off, they noticed that the Megazord was right behind them. The animals screamed as the roller coaster took off, but the Megazord was close behind. The roller coaster went through a series of loops and turns, but the Megazord was still right behind them. Suddenly the raccoon remembered a trick that he had learned from a cartoon. He quickly grabbed a nearby lever and pulled it, causing the roller coaster to change tracks. The Megazord was unable to change tracks as quickly as the roller coaster ended up crashing into a nearby popcorn stand. The animals let out a sigh of relief and then got off the roller coaster. As they were walking away, they noticed a sign that said "Employees Only." The deer suggested that they go hide in the The deer suggested that they go hide into the restricted area, hoping to find a place to hide. The animals didn't know that the robot can't read, and it barged straight into the restricted area, hot on their trail. They can't hide for much longer, as the robot was beginning to bear down on them. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna change that. They can't hide for much longer, as they were getting tired. Okay. Katuikan! The animals had managed to evade the robot so far, but they knew it was only a matter of time before they were caught. As they were trying to catch their breath, they realized they had accidentally stumbled into a restricted area. They saw caution tape, warning signs, and security cameras everywhere, but it was too late to turn back now. They had to hide. As they looked around for a place to hide, they saw a metal fence with barbed wire at top. They knew it was dangerous, but they had no other option. They quickly climbed over the fence and into the restricted area. Little did they know that beyond the fence was a radioactive industrial park. These animals. I think we're reaching the end of the availability of the prompt. Well, I guess the animals win this time. Damn you animals! Alright. New story. Okay. Alright. Hold on. Let's see. A lovable alien comes to Earth and tries to fit in by adopting the quirks and mannerisms of different sitcom characters. Take this, AI-generated Seinfeld. Fuck you. As a lovable alien landed on Earth, he was fascinated by the sitcoms that he watched in the spaceship. Hold on, wait. I gotta change the song. Okay. There we go. As a lovable alien landed on Earth, he was fascinated by the sitcoms that he watched on the spaceship. He was particularly drawn to the quirky characters and their mannerisms. He decided to adopt these mannerisms to fit in with the humans on Earth. He started by wearing an oversized sweater and glasses, while holding a cup of coffee. He would smile and laugh at everything, even when it wasn't funny. He loved the bright and colorful set design, the retro vibes, the neon lights. He was particularly drawn to the aesthetic of the 80s. No, we're gonna do a different one. Fuck that one. We can do better. Zorbon the alien landed on Earth with a mission to blend in and learn about human culture. He quickly discovered that the best way to learn about humans was to watch sitcoms. Zorbon was mesmerized by the way humans interacted with each other, and he began to mimic the behavior of the characters he saw on TV. One day, Zorbon decided to try out his new skills by going to a local coffee shop. He observed a group of friends laughing and joking around, and he decided to try and join in. As soon as he opened his mouth, however, everyone stared at him in confusion. Zorbon realized that he had accidentally started speaking in a southern drawl, like a character from a popular TV show. Embarrassed, Zorbon quickly left the coffee shop and retreated back to his apartment. He decided to spend the rest of the day watching more sitcoms and practicing his impressions. As the night wore on, Zorbon became more and more immersed in the world of TV, until he began to forget that he wasn't actually a character on a show. What should he do next? Zorbon attempts to become a director. No, hold on. We can do better. Let's see. Should do. Okay, I'll just stick with that. Zorbon attempts to get a job as a director. One second. Why am I turned like that? What's wrong with me hands? How do I even fix that? My arms are sideways. My hands are sideways. Let's ask. Okay, I got this. Let me rotate this way. Okay. Okay. My hands are still sideways. Fucking Zorbon. Okay, wait. Uno segundo, por favor. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. What do you do when your arms have rotated? Okay, wait. 90 degrees. Let's see. There we go. Okay. What do you do when you are Okay. What do you do when you're a digital character and your arms have rotated 90 degrees from your head? Maybe this will fix it. That's an interesting question. I suppose I would try to adjust my arms back to their normal position or ask someone for help. Oh, nothing serious. I'm just on a live broadcast and realized that my arms are sideways. Tragic. What are you gonna do about it? It's going fairly decent. Fairly decent. It's a disaster. Everything's going wrong. Oh, I see. That's... Hold on, wait. I'm gonna get the text-to-speech to read it out. Oh, it's more like robot-like. Why is it not working? Oh, wrong browser. Damn. No text-to-speech. Oh, I see. That sounds unfortunate. I hope you can fix it soon. How is your live broadcast going otherwise? Fairly decent. I'm using AI to generate a live storybook. I'm not telling you. You gotta tune in. You silly goose. This message that I bring to you, yeah. I hope my friend is coming through. The age is flying high. Age is flying high. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that was worth a shot. Back to Zorbon. How could I fix this? Fuck it. The next day, Zorbon woke up with a new goal in mind, to become a director. He had spent the entire night watching movies and studying the craft of filmmaking. Zorbon was convinced that he had what it took to make it in Hollywood. Zorbon set out to apply for a job at the local film studio. When he arrived, he was met with skepticism from the hiring manager. "What experience do you have?" the manager asked. "Well, I've watched a lot of movies," Zorbon replied confidently. The manager laughed and told Zorbon that he couldn't just become a director overnight, but Zorbon was determined. He begged and pleaded with the manager until he finally relented and gave Zorbon a chance. Zorbon's first day on set was chaotic. He had no idea what was going on, but he tried his best to emulate the directors he had seen in movies. He shouted orders at the crew, held a loud boom microphone, and even sat in his own director's chair. Despite his lack of experience, Zorbon's unique perspective and alien creativity proved to be a hit with the crew. At the end of the day, the manager was impressed with Zorbon's work. He offered him a job as a production assistant and promised to help him work his way up to a director. Excited about his new career path, Zorbon went home and started planning his first feature film. Zorbon quickly gets to work writing his film. He thinks it's a masterpiece. However, little did he know that it was going to be the laughingstock of the town soon. Got dang old Zorbon. Dadgum aliens taking our jobs. Click clack, click clack, click clack. Still throwing me off that my hands and arms are sideways. Zorbon was ecstatic about his new job as a production assistant, but his real passion was writing. He spent all his free time working on his first feature film script. He was convinced it was going to be a masterpiece. Once he finished the script, he eagerly handed it to his boss for review. His boss was surprised by the script's strange and surrealistic plot, but he agreed to let Zorbon direct the film. On the first day of shooting, Zorbon was excited to bring his vision to life. But as the days went by, he started to notice that the crew was constantly snickering behind his back. At first, Zorbon thought it was just his imagination, but as the film began to take shape, he realized that something was wrong. It wasn't until the premiere that Zorbon realized the truth. His film was a complete disaster. The audience laughed at the strange plot and poor execution, and even the crew couldn't help but snicker. Zorbon was heartbroken. He had poured his heart and soul into the film, only to be met with ridicule and laughter. But Zorbon didn't give up. He took the criticism to heart and decided to learn from his mistakes. He went back to the drawing board and started to working on a new script, determined to make something that people would love. Zorbon's rival enters the scene and absolutely embarrasses Zorbon. I like how he changed his name spelling. Oh, that's fire. I fuck with that. Zorbon was hard at work on his new script when he heard a commotion outside of his office. He went to investigate and was shocked to see his rival, Zarlon, standing in the hallway with a group of laughing crew members. Zarlon was a well-known director in Hollywood, and someone Zorbon had always looked up to. But he had no idea that Zarlon had taken such a dislike to him. "What's so funny?" Zorbon asked, trying to keep his cool. "Oh, just your little film," Zarlon sneered. "You really thought it was going to be a masterpiece, huh?" Zorbon felt his face turn red with anger and embarrassment. He had worked so hard on that film and now it was being mocked by one of his idols. Zarlon continued to taunt Zorbon, making fun of his directing skills and his alien heritage. The rest of the crew just laughed along, too afraid to stand up to Zarlon. Zorbon felt like crawling into a hole and never coming out. He had always looked up to Zarlon and hoped to learn from him. But now, he realized that Zarlon was just a bully who enjoyed putting others down. Zorbon knew he had to stand up for himself. He took a deep breath and told Zarlon to leave him alone. Zarlon just laughed and walked away, but Zorbon felt a sense of pride for standing up to his rival. Continue. Okay, actually. Continue. More hijinks ensue. Oh wait, hold on. Stop. Don't forget the images. I'm gonna get some yogurt. AI, take over reading for me while I eat my yogurt. Come on, AI. What's the problem? I guess it's not gonna work. I guess I'll just have to read it myself. Zorbon stewed in anger for days after the encounter with Zarlon. He was determined to get revenge on his rival, but he didn't know how. One night, Zorbon and his crew gathered in a back alley to plot their revenge. They huddled around a neon sign and brainstormed ideas. What if we make a film that's so bad it's good? One of Zorbon's crew members suggested. Zorbon thought about it for a moment. It was a risky move, but it just might work. They got to work on a new script, one that was intentionally campy and over the top. Zorbon directed the film with the same passion and dedication as before, but this time with an added twist. During the premiere, the audience laughed at the ridiculous plot and cheesy special effects, but as the film went on, they started to realize that it was intentionally bad. They started to cheer and applaud, realizing that Zorbon had outsmarted them all. Zarlon was in the audience too, and he couldn't help but be impressed. He sought out Zorbon after the premiere and offered to help him with his next film. Zorbon was hesitant at first, but he realized that Zarlon was a valuable mentor. They worked together on several successful films and became good friends. It just goes to show that revenge isn't the answer. Sometimes the best way to get back at someone is to prove them wrong and show them what you're capable of. Dar man, Dar fam. 2023. Man, yogurt is so good. Hold on, I'm gonna throw up a video while I eat my yogurt. Yogurt, yogurt. I will sing the song of my people. Yogurt. I hope my audio is better this stream. I think I got everything worked out. I had my noise gate all fucked up for 2 days in a row. Alright. Good ass yogurt. Nothing else like it. Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna do... I'm gonna do some movie magic. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. And while that is playing, I'll be attempting to fix my hands. Technical difficulties! Just when you think you know a guy, his hands just turn 90 degrees and stick out beside him. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Almost done. Okay. There's that. Now let's see what happens when I push this button. Interesting, now my hands are backwards. Okay, one last thing I can try. Why in the hell my arm is around my back? Okay, I got one last idea. I see what had happened. Okay. I think we're back in action. Fucking A, man. Okay, yeah, sweet. I've fixed me hands. Bum 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 bum. Da, 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 da. All right. Let's get ready to rumble. All right. And we're back. With my hands in front of my body. Can I get a round of applause? So stupid. Dun, 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 dun. Let me get chat back up. Chat, where are you? Actually, instead of going back to the stories right away, I got a different idea. Okay. Let me make sure all of this is muted. Okay. There's that. And I believe... Okay. Okay. So I should be able to play music now. Let's see here. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Let's listen to unmixed vocals. That's what I want to do. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's fire. Okay. Ba, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, 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 ba.
One shot.
Oh, it's way too loud.
Want you to make me feel like
Wait, hold on. Sped up. There we go.
Want you to make me feel like I'm the only girl in the world. Like I'm the only one that you'll ever love. Like I'm the only one who knows your heart. Like I'm the only one that's in command. 'Cause I'm the only one who understands how to make you feel like a man. Yeah.
Her voice is so crazy.
Only one.
That's crazy.
Only one. Want you to make me feel like I'm the only girl in
Hold
the
on,
world.
let me get some more layers.
Like I'm the only one that you'll ever love. Like I'm the only one who knows your heart. Like I'm the only one that's in command. 'Cause I'm the only one who understands. Like I'm the
Shit.
only one.
One more. Okay.
Make you.
Okay, here we go. Got them all stacked. Oh, they seem out of sync or out of order. What is this one?
Right, oh baby, take me high. Take me for a ride, oh baby, take me high. Let me make you rise, oh make it last all night. Take me for a ride, oh baby, take me high. Let me make you rise, make it last all night. Want you to make me feel like I'm the only girl in the world. Like I'm the only one that you'll ever love. Like I'm the only one who knows your heart.
Why is it like that? Oh. I see, I see. So that should be right here.
Only girl in the world. Like I'm the only one that's in command. 'Cause I'm the only one who understands how to make you feel like a man.
It's fire. I just think it's so interesting when I listen to artists' vocals and takes and everything. Like, hear how many times it took them to get the take that actually stuck. Or sometimes it's like a lot of different takes that they chop and put together. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this one's fun. Da 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 da. Okay. Da 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 da. Um, 1 second. Okay. I have like 3 monitors up right now, but I feel like I need another. Alright.
You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. 'Cause they'd fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. 'Cause I'd get 1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they tried to teach me how to dance. A foxtrot above my head, a sock hop beneath my bed. The disco ball is just hanging by a thread. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. When I fall asleep, leave my door open just a crack, 'cause I feel like such an insomniac. Why do I tire of counting sheep when I'm far too tired to fall asleep? To 10 million fireflies, I'm weird 'cause I hate goodbyes. I got misty eyes as they said farewell. But I'll know where several are if my dreams get real bizarre, 'cause I saved a few and I keep them in a jar. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. When I fall asleep, I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. When I fall asleep, I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, because my dreams are bursting at the seams.
I like that end part. I've never really like listened to that. I probably never made it that far in the song. Yeah, the mixing on that song is fucking ridiculous. Let's see, what else do we have? Bam, bam, ba, ba, da, da. Oh, that's nice. Dun, 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 dun. One second. Hold on, I do want to hear that one second. Let me get that. A little sprinkle of this, a little dabble of that. Okay, here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And you can't hear it because there's no music. Just vocals. What? That sounds like Schoolboy Q, Hell of a Night. That's sick. I wonder if that's what sample it was. We gotta look that up. Samples. No. Huh. I don't know. I guess they just sound really fucking similar, but that's fucking crazy.
We're living together, but still it's farewell. And maybe we'll come back to earth, who can tell? I guess there is no one to blame. We're leaving ground. Will things ever be the same again? It's the final countdown. The final countdown.
What? I bet you never knew that was in the song. A nice fucking grunt.
We're heading for Venus, and still we stand tall. 'Cause maybe they've seen us and welcome us all, yeah. With so many light years to go and things to be found. I'm sure that we all miss her so. It's the final countdown. The final countdown. The final countdown. Oh. The final countdown. Oh, It's the final countdown. The final countdown. The final countdown. It's the
God, that's beautiful. I need to sample that.
It's the final countdown. We're leaving together. The final countdown. We'll all miss you so. It's the final countdown. Final countdown.
That's so fucking sick. I'm gonna listen to that last part again. Where was it?
It's the final countdown.
They really let you know what it is.
Together, the final countdown. We'll all miss you so. It's the final countdown. Final countdown.
What do we got here? If it was just me by myself, I'd probably listen to the synths from that song, but I feel like those would actually get me copyright ID'd. Okay.
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's the edge of the world in all of Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. Pay a surgeon very well to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your chin or is that war you're waging? Firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft porn. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Married my girl, be my ferry to the world, be my very own constellation. A teenage bride with a baby inside, getting high on information. And buy me a star on the boulevard, it's Californication. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. In Cobain, can you hear the sphere singing songs off station to station? And Alderon's not far away, it's Californication. Born and raised by those who praise control of population. Everybody's been there, and I don't mean on vacation. Firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft porn. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Destruction leads to a very rough road, but it also breeds creation. An earthquake's out to a girl's guitar, that's just another good vibration. And tidal waves couldn't save the world from Californication. Pay a surgeon very well to break the spell of aging. Sicker than the rest, there is no test, but this is what you're craving. Firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft porn. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication.
Let's see, what do I got next? If I was smart, I would look for the next song while it's playing, but I kind of just enjoy listening to the music. Alright. Alright, that's enough of that. We had our fun. Let's see here. My arms keep going sideways. I love that I can just make myself disappear. It's great for troubleshooting. Okay, there we go. Hands back in front, as they should be. Factory ordered. I'm kind of getting hungry. Music. Alright. Let me find a YouTube video.
Sexiest man alive? What?
Let's see here. Hey, that's me. Okay, I'm gonna throw this on. Pause the music.
Alright, Dope Tech, one of my favorite series. It's the most fun because we get to bring together a bunch of different things that all have something in common. A bit of a theme, if you will. And the theme...
And while that's running, I'm gonna go make some food. I'll be right back.
All the items we're gonna do in this video, I had rock bottom, super low expectations for it. That's just the way it was. All managed to exceed those expectations in some way. It doesn't mean they're good products. In fact, I don't even recommend buying any of the things that we talk about in this video, but they all did manage to clear that ultra low hurdle. You'll see what I mean. So, okay, the first one is a family-friendly household robot. It's right here. Astro, say hi. To the... Thanks. Yeah. Okay. So this is Amazon's Astro, and it's a robot. You'll see what I'm talking about. So you might have seen the commercial they put on YouTube for showing it rolling around and being helpful to people, bringing people drinks, things like that. But you might have also, like me, seen the headlines about it. Basically that it's an unmitigated disaster and it throws itself down flights of stairs. I honestly don't think I would ever buy an Astro bot for my own home. It's basically an Alexa speaker.
And I will be right back.
With a 10-inch screen and then with a camera and a microphone to act as a security camera. Yeah, my expectations are down here. But the funny thing is we got it. I'll unmute it. We got Astro and we started using it, and it turned out that there were a couple things that were impressive about it, 3 to be specific. The first one is just how impressively confident it is at maneuvering around. So Astro has a huge wheel on either side that lets it go over bumps and cables and move around dramatically better than any Roomba or robot vacuum. And it's really good. I mean, you just watch it cut around corners and cut close to objects. It never really hits them, but it seems to run routes wherever it thinks it should be going really well. It moves around new objects that were put in place after it mapped your space, and it just kind of rolls around confidently. Honestly, at this point, I kind of wish it had a vacuum cleaner attachment or something, because it feels like this could be miles more productive than any of the actual robot vacuums. But it is also notoriously bad with glass walls and weird architectural features. It actually comes with a set of stickers to put on any glass wall so it knows that the wall is there and it doesn't smash its face into them. Also, we don't have any stairs in here, so yeah. Anyway, the second thing is literally just this set of speakers in Astro. So if you ask it to play music or watch a video or something, and you get through the setup process and connect your Amazon Music account, it's kind of like a mini boombox on wheels, which is kind of a unique product by itself, I guess. So you can ask it to play videos like an Echo Show. It'll also try to play videos on its 10-inch screen, so you can watch like a YouTube video with great sound, but the video will be at ankle height, so there's that. It also randomly likes to remind you that it can act like a bird or a whale, and then it'll actually do it, loudly. But the last thing just has to do with the screen they put on this thing, where the face is. Now, it's not that it's a particularly bright or high resolution or high refresh rate screen, no. It's got a 5-megapixel camera on it that's not amazing. You know, it's designed to just quickly look around and recognize people, but it also gets that wrong all the time too. So what's impressive about the screen? Well, it sort of acts like a face, like a human-like character all the time. It looks at you, it has these expressions. It's muted right now, so it looks like it's asleep. I hit the unmute button and it wakes up and it makes these expressions and noises. And then when I call its name from wherever I am in the room, it could just be hanging out somewhere, it's shockingly good at triangulating where the voice came from and pointing the face at it, which doesn't sound that impressive, but when you think about it, it's kind of amazing. Look at this, look. Hey, Astro. so good at that. Hey, Astro. I mean, honestly, this isn't particularly useful at all. I mean, all it's doing is pointing the screen at me, but it's just something weird about the way it looks at you, and it looks right at you every time, and it gives you some facial expression every time. It's also typically a blank stare, so like, if you give it a command it doesn't understand, it just looks at you. It doesn't show any error messages. If you say a command and it doesn't know what you're talking about, it just doesn't do anything. It just looks at you. There's also sometimes when I'm walking by it and I haven't been in that room in a while, and it sort of perks up and looks at you and like winks and makes a noise and says it misses you, which is, it's a thing that it does sometimes. But I just couldn't get over how good the triangulation of like looking at the voice was. Super good. That's dope tech. But, you know, there's a laundry list of reasons I would not actually buy this robot. From all the setup bugs and non-responses, to the terrible facial recognition mistaking me for other people in the studio, to the shin height video calls. Now, there is a telescoping camera at the top, which will pop out and let you take a higher quality selfie, or check to see if the stove is on, or if something's on the counter, and you can remote control it if you're away from the house. But the max height is 42 inches, which is still like below hip height, and there's this tough, laggy steering and turning process that's just not very intuitive or fun at all. And then the last fun part that you probably saw in the ad is it would like bring drinks to people, so I could send it to another room and it would grab a drink for me. But that of course requires someone being in the other room and then putting a drink in the back and then being sent back to where the person initially called it from. And so it's just kind of like, you might as well just have someone bring you a drink in the first place. And all of that's not even considering the slightly uncomfortable reality of having an Amazon camera and microphone follow you around your house all the time. So, but it is kind of cool at some stuff. 4 out of 10. All right, so this looks like a normal smartwatch, right? A little thick maybe, but overall a pretty classic design. This is called the Huawei Watch Buds. Why is it called the Watch Buds, you ask? Well, okay, so I have a theory about 2-in-1 devices that basically anytime you combine 2 product categories into one product, it has to be worse at something, at one of those things. Like when you get those 2-in-1 folding laptop tablet hybrid things, it's kind of a worse laptop because now it has to be thinner to be able to fold all the way around, but it's also a worse tablet because the keyboard is still on the back when you fold it. It's kind of awkward. So anyway, this is a hybrid watch and earbuds. Watch buds. So now my expectation with this thing is that, according to my theory, it's either gonna be worse earbuds or a worse smartwatch, or both. But let me just take a minute to admire the fact that they actually pulled this off and made it a real product in the first place. So this thing it's by Huawei, it's real, it's around 550 bucks. And Huawei knows how to make a good smartwatch, so this is a pretty premium, large-sized watch, steel, leather strap. It is kind of heavy, but it doesn't look too ridiculous on your wrist, just like a normal thick premium smartwatch, until you hit that knurled button right there at the bottom, and it opens up and reveals your earbuds. Each one is automatically paired to your phone, so the second you grab one off this magnetic lid, it takes over your audio from your phone. So okay, real world situation. You're getting a phone call, but you're about to go drive somewhere or walk around, so you want to be hands-free, so you just pop this open, put one earbud in, and you're connected to your phone and on the call already. So yeah, these earbuds are truly mini. They look tiny in my hands, actually tiny in anybody's hands. And then there's a clever bit of software trickery. So these 2 buds here are actually basically identical. There's no right and left. Instead, they have a magnetic strip all the way around, so you can just slap them back in the lid in whatever order you want and close it, not really think about orientation. And then when you take them out and put them in your ears, apparently all it takes is 1, 2, nod gesture, and already it knows which one is the right ear, which one is the left ear, and then calibrates your stereo signal accordingly. That's pretty cool. So okay, for the 2-in-1 question at the beginning, according to my theory, these are either a bad set of earbuds or a bad smartwatch, or both. So which is it? Well, it's mostly bad earbuds. Like, impressively enough, if you're into like Huawei smartwatches before, you already know some of the Watch GTs have like a week of battery life. This watch, connected to your phone and acting like a normal smartwatch, can still get 3 days of battery life, which in smartwatch world is actually still quite fine. Like, the display is still large and bright, and it just, nothing about it really feels compromised, other than the fact that maybe it's a little bit heavy. But I think if you gave this to like 9 out of 10 people, they would never suspect that there's earbuds inside. But the earbuds themselves, that's where they kind of feel much less premium. Like, they have active noise cancellation that barely works, but like, who cares? This is much more of a convenience play. This is not for amazing sound quality. This is for the like, I'm about to get on a phone call right now and I don't want to have to fumble around and find my earbuds. They're just always on my wrist at all times. They have a 3-hour max battery life with active noise cancellation on, fine, but if I was gonna listen to something or do some audio activity for more than 3 hours, I'd probably have a comfortable pair of headphones to do that with. So this is just like pure convenience. Jump on the phone call, you'll never lose your earbuds, or, I mean, I guess you could just lose your whole watch, in which case you lost your earbuds too. I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea. 7 out of 10. All right, so this last item is called, it's called the world's fastest shoes. So, I've seen a lot of last mile transportation fads in my day, from segways to scooters to hoverboards, boosted boards. This problem has been solved many times. So when I started seeing these things pop up, my expectations were very, very low. But basically the explanation is these are basically robotic motorized rollerblades. There's 8 rollerblades on the bottom of each one. Put your foot in and you strap your foot in with your shoe still on. And that's how these work. And then the idea is you just keep walking like a normal person with your normal stride, and because of the motors and the wheels, it'll accelerate the way you walk by up to 250%. So for those wondering, they're claiming it'll have a maximum speed once you get going of about 5 to 7 miles an hour. But then I saw the site's demo videos, and I saw Casey Neistat's video, you've probably seen that. They're called the Shift Moonwalker shoes. You're supposed to just be able to walk naturally, and then the motors and the wheels kick in, and it's a natural acceleration, and you just start to magically cover more ground than you normally would if you were just walking. So I had to try them. Basically, okay, they work as advertised, meaning that you have to try to walk like normal and really heel toe it, and after a few steps, you start to hear the motors kick in, and it almost feels like a controlled rollerblading experience. Controlled meaning you don't just go as fast as if you were free rollerblading, but you are more stable because you're wearing your normal shoes, and then you're strapped into these platforms, and these things are heavy as hell. So there is a bit of a learning curve, and you just start to walk around, and you definitely feel ridiculous when you first learn them, and you start to accelerate more and more quickly. Turning is really hard because you can't really turn while that foot is down. All 8 wheels are on the ground, so you can only turn with the foot that's in the air before it lands. All of this you can get used to over time, so there's a learning curve, but what you don't really get from the videos on the site is just how heavy these things are and how loud they are as you're walking. They're like clomp, clomp, like walking around, and the whirring of the motors at the same time. You can hear someone coming from a long way away with these. So as I'm using them, I start to think about the question, which is, would you prefer this over a hoverboard or over an electric skateboard or something, or just actual rollerblades? And so the pitch is that the advantage of these is that you can walk with the normal energy of walking, and it just sort of effortlessly glides you along at a faster speed, kind of like one of those runways at the airport. But it's kind of not exactly true because of how heavy they are and the extra energy needed to pick up your feet. But if you get up to the top speed, I will say the amount of energy you're spending is less than trying to jog at that speed. But the entire time I couldn't get out of my mind, one of these things, which had its day, the hoverboard, is going to be a faster top speed and less energy than walking. And if you want to go like up or down stairs or something, you just get off and just carry it. Or one of these, an electric skateboard, something like a boosted board, has a higher top speed than both of these, and is also less energy than walking, and also you would have to just get off and carry it up the stairs. So the advantage of these would be that you get to keep them on more often, and that it feels more natural because of the walking motion. Theoretically though, you could leave these on as you go up and down stairs if you're feeling.
On today's Tech Linked, we differentiate ourselves from Nintendo by not killing what you love and instead giving you more of it.
RIP eShop.
Apple's highest ranking executives were given a sneak peek of the company's new headset last week, according to Apple soothsayer Mark Germostradamus. Mark Gurman. This group, called the Top 100, have been attending similar events for the headset every year since 2018. They called these events Fight Club demos, which is a reference to the discreet nature of the meeting and somehow doesn't involve a group that literally calls themselves the Top 100, battling for Tim Cook's amusement.
There can be only one!
They have that at Amazon, though. The Gurm mentioned that many at Apple are questioning the headset's design, saying the device will cost upwards of $3,000, will have no killer app, and was uncomfortable for some testers to wear, among other complaints. Gurman suggests the company expects a Apple Watch-like outcome, where a product is niche at launch, but in a few years becomes the one piece of tech your mom can reliably use. Maybe this hope is why Tim Cook is pushing ahead to launch the headset this year, despite concerns from the product's own designers. What do they know anyway? They couldn't even fight their way into the top 100. The French government, also known as La Government French, has decided to officially ban fun for all its employees by not allowing them to have recreational apps on government devices. In what is surely the biggest thing to happen in the country right now, apps like Netflix, Instagram, and Twitter are banned from phones issued to government employees. And since France couldn't stop at banning TikTok like every other country and call it a day, Candy Crush is also not allowed. The country's cybersecurity agency stated that recreational apps don't have sufficient security or data protection to give civil servants something more interesting to do on the toilet than counting bathroom floor tiles. This could mean that France views Chinese and American tech companies with the same level of suspicion. It wouldn't be the first time France has come to blows with the US over big tech. In 2019, the country enacted a digital services tax that prompted retaliatory sanctions from the American government until 2021. France also opposes the US Cloud Act, which allows US law enforcement to request data stored by most major cloud providers, even if it's stored outside the US.
Even God.
So, is this app ban the newest tech tussle with America, or is Macron just tired of getting ratioed on Twitter? Who's to say? C'est la vie. And a new Trojan has been announced. Unfortunately, for everyone waiting for the next leap forward in condom technology, it's malware, actually. Basically the opposite of using protection. Called Nexus, it infects Android devices through phishing websites claiming to allow you to download discontinued YouTube client, Vanced. Nexus can replicate legitimate interfaces to trick you into entering your credentials, can steal SMS messages to get two-factor authentication codes, and can even steal information from crypto wallets and Google Authenticator. But even worse, the authors have taken a page out of EA's playbook and built a service model for Nexus. You see, for just $3,000 a month, you can commit financial crimes and steal the savings of innocent people all over the world.
And be your own boss.
So far, the majority of Nexus infections have been reported in Turkey, but the Nexus creators really want you to know it isn't on purpose, stating our targets do not include any country, political view, or anything done for the purpose of attack. Their targets also don't include Azerbaijan, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, or Indonesia, since they prohibit anyone from using their malware in those countries. They must have a very diverse team. They may sell software that can drain people's life savings, but they have a code. I don't quite understand their code, but they have one. Now it's time for the Quick Bits, brought to you by the Ugreen USB 3.0 Switch Selector, which lets you use up to 4 USB devices across 2 computers. It's great if you love to show off by using, say, a laptop and a desktop PC at the same time. The ladies love it. The USB 3.0 Switch Selector is super simple to use. Just plug in your devices into the front ports, attach the rear cables to your 2 systems, and through the power of love and friendship, your keyboard, mouse, and webcam can instantly be used with one system or the other with a press of a button. Man wasn't meant to have this much power, but you can harness it by checking out the Ugreen Switch Selector at the link below. Hey, I couldn't think of a better time to say this, but, you know, Quick Bits. Gordon Moore, the co-founder of Intel and inventor of, you know the one, Moore's Law, passed away on Friday at the age of 94. In 1965, he predicted that the number of transistors in an integrated circuit would double every year, 3 years before founding Intel with Robert Noyce.
Noise.
10 years later, he humbly updated his law by saying transistors would double every 2 years. At least according to Jensen Huang, Gordon Moore outlived his own law, and I doubt many people have been able to pull that off. Hats off to you, Mr. Moore. Rest in peace. Microsoft has threatened to cut off companies like DuckDuckGo and Yahoo from licensing their internet search index data if those companies continue to use it to train AI chat features, according to Bloomberg's insider sources. People familiar with the matter. You see, giving AI access to a map of the web is incredibly dangerous, which is why only Bing can be entrusted with it. You know, other chatbots might do something extreme. A number of smaller search engines currently license Bing's index because of Google's restrictions on licensing theirs. But now Microsoft has hit the Bing time. You know, fame changes a mega corporation. People care about Bing now. The FTC has decided they've had enough of extended warranty memes, so they're going after the companies trying to rip off Americans. Proposed court orders will ban 3 companies from both the extended automobile warranty industry and all outbound telemarketing, continuing the FTC's fight against robocalls and telemarketing scams. These companies were charged by the FTC a year ago, with the regulator alleging that the companies falsely claimed to represent dealers and manufacturers, and the FTC claimed the scam had cost US consumers $6 million since 2018. The memes were pretty good though, but Xbox Game Pass has gotten so popular that Microsoft no longer needs to entice new subscribers with a trial price of $1 for the first month. The company says they'll be evaluating different marketing promotions for new members in the future, but what could you possibly introduce as a successor to what almost everyone recognizes as the best deal in gaming? I mean, a single dollar to play entirely through 1 to 30 top AAA games, depending on how alive you want to be at the end. Doesn't get much better than that. $5 footlongs, those are good. And it turns out that farm equipment manufacturers are desperate to get their machines in the simulation game Farming Simulator. Developer Giant Software claims that manufacturers' interest alone covers the entire cost of game development. It makes sense since some companies have announced their product's inclusion in the game the same day they announce the actual product. Manufacturers will even share detailed engineering drawings with the game devs to aid in accurate simulation. I guess the metaverse was just for tractors the whole time. And who cares about the engineering drawings? You're not allowed to fix it yourself anyway.
And in the metaverse, they still have wheels.
But tech news is for everyone, so come back on Wednesday when we decide to talk to you through the camera again. We will decide that.
Let's see. Hello. Microphone check 1 2. We're good. One second. One second. My battery's died on my microphone. Let's see, I think that will work right there. Okay. I will start the story over, because I was muted. As the man walked down the street, he could smell the sweet aroma of freshly made waffles in the air. His mouth watered as he imagined the crispy, golden brown goodness that awaited him. Finally, he arrived at the little breakfast spot that he loved so much, and he eagerly went inside to get his usual stack of waffles. To his surprise, the place was crowded, and the only place... Fuck. I can't read. To his surprise, the place was packed, and the only available seat was at a table with a strange-looking man who was already eating his waffles. The man was dressed in a bright pink suit, and he had a large top hat on his head. As the man sat down, the strange man looked up and grinned. "Hello there, my good fellow. Would you care for some syrup?" he asked, holding out a large bottle of syrup. The man was taken aback by the stranger's odd appearance and behavior, but he couldn't help but find him amusing. He accepted the syrup and poured it generously over his waffles. As he took a bite, he couldn't help but notice how delicious they were. "What brings you here today?" the stranger asked. "I just came for some waffles," the man replied. The stranger chuckled. "Ah, yes. The waffles here are quite good. But did you know that this place is actually a front for a secret society of waffle enthusiasts?" The man raised his eyebrow in confusion. "A secret society of waffle enthusiasts?" "Yes, indeed," the stranger exclaimed. "We gather here every week to discuss the latest waffle trends and share our favorite waffle recipes. It's quite a delightful little gathering, if I do say so myself." The man couldn't help but laugh. "Well, that's certainly something." Suddenly the stranger leaned in close and whispered, "But I must warn you, my friend. Once you join our ranks, there's no turning back. You'll be a waffle enthusiast for life." The man chuckled and finished his waffles. As he got up to leave, the stranger called after him. "Until we meet again, my fellow waffle enthusiast," he said with a wave. I'll just use the voice. Sure. Join the Waffle Society. The man couldn't resist can't fucking read. The man couldn't resist the invitation to join the Waffle Society. He returned to the breakfast spot the next week and was welcomed with open arms by the eccentric members of the society. At the meeting, the man was introduced to all sorts of waffle enthusiasts, from chefs and bakers to food critics and bloggers. They shared their latest waffle recipes with him and discussed the newest waffle trends. The man found it all very amusing, and he couldn't believe that such a society existed. As the meeting came to an end, the man was approached by the same strange man from the week before. He introduced himself as the founder of the society and offered to make the man a member. "All you have to do is take the waffle oath," he said, holding out a piece of paper. The man took the paper and read the oath out loud. "I solemnly swear to uphold the sanctity of waffles, to explore new recipes and flavors, and to share my love of waffles with the world." With that, the man was officially a member of the Waffle Society. He couldn't believe how silly it all was, but he had to admit that at least he was having a good time. As he left the breakfast spot, the man couldn't help but wonder what other strange societies were out there. He made a mental note to keep his eyes open for any other secret groups. Use the perks of my newfound Waffle Society membership to help me better my life. The caption is just man using waffles to better his life. The man couldn't stop thinking about the Waffle Society and how it could benefit his life. He decided to use his newfound membership to improve his business as a food blogger. Well, of course. Of course he's a fucking food blogger. He reached out to his fellow Waffle Society members and asked them to share their favorite waffle recipes with him. He tested out each recipe and wrote glowing reviews of the best ones on his blog. The reviews were a hit with his readers, and his blog quickly gained a following. The man was thrilled with the success of his blog, and he knew that he had the Waffle Society to thank for it. But the benefits of his Waffle Society membership didn't stop there. He also started receiving invitations to exclusive waffle tasting and events. He even got to meet some of the biggest names in the waffle world. As he attended more and more events, the man couldn't believe how much it changed his life. He was now a respected member of the food blogging community, and he had the Waffle Society to thank for it. But even with all the success he had achieved, the man never forgot the joy of simply enjoying a stack of delicious waffles. He continued to visit the little breakfast spot every week, and he always left with a little smile on his face. Eventually, the man's love of waffles became his downfall. That's beautiful. The man's love for waffle had grown into an obsession. He couldn't eat a meal without incorporating waffles into it. He even started to dream about waffles at night. The man's blog became solely dedicated to waffles, and his readership started to dwindle. People were getting tired of reading about waffles every day, but the man didn't care. He was happy in his own waffle-filled world. He stopped paying attention to anything else, and his life started to spiral out of control. He started going to work and spent all of his time at the little breakfast spot, eating waffles and talking to other members of the Waffle Society. He was no longer the successful food blogger he had once been. One day, the man went to the breakfast spot and found that it had closed down. He was devastated. He had lost his favorite place to eat waffles and his home away from home. He realized that his love of waffles had become his downfall. He let it consume his life, and he was left with nothing. The man knew that he had to make a change. He started to see a therapist and work through his addiction to waffles, but slowly but surely he started to get his life back on track. Though he never regained the same level of success he would once had, the man was happy in his new life. He still enjoyed waffles, but now he had a healthy relationship with them. Bravo, I'm proud of you, man. I love that picture. Okay, let's see, next story. The story starts with a kid playing with a large antique globe in his grandfather's office. As the boy spun the globe, he felt a strange pull towards an unknown location. Suddenly, the globe glowed a beam of light and shot out from it, enveloping the boy and transporting to a mysterious land in the middle of the ocean. The island was unlike anything the boy had ever seen before. It was covered in lush vegetation and towering trees, and in the distance he could see a massive volcano spewing smoke and ash into the sky. As he explored the island, he encountered a group of eccentric characters, a talking parrot who loved to sing show tunes, a grumpy old pirate with a peg leg, and a friendly giant who loved to play chess. The boy soon discovered that the island was home to a hidden treasure, but it was guarded by a ferocious sea monster that patrolled the waters around the island. The only way to reach the treasure was to defeat the monster, and the boy knew he couldn't do it alone. He enlisted help of his new friends, and together they hatched a plan. Work on their plan. Include dialogue. The group sat around a large wooden table, spread with maps and artifacts of all kinds. The pirate, Captain Blackbeard, slammed his fist on the table. "I've seen that sea monster take down entire fleets. We'll need more than just our wits to defeat it." The giant, whose name was Magnus, leaned over the table, his massive hand tracing a path along the map. "What if we created a decoy? Something to lure the monster away from the treasure?" The parrot, whose name was Polly, flapped its wings excitedly. Oh! What if we made a giant papier-mâché fish and filled it with explosives?" The boy nodded eagerly. "That could work. But we'll need to time it just right." I'm gonna restart that. The boy nodded eagerly. "That could work. But we'll need to time it just right. Magnus, can you swim out to the monster and distract it while we set up the decoy?" Magnus grinned. "No problem, lad. I've swum with things scarier than that sea monster." Captain Blackbeard clapped the boy on the back. "Looks like we've got ourselves a plan, lads. Let's get to work." Okay, wait. Let's just continue. Nothing complicated. We got the plan, just follow through? The group sprang into action, gathering supplies and building the decoy fish. Magnus swam out to the sea monster, drawing its attention away from the island. The boy and Polly set up the decoy fish, filling it with explosives. As the sea monster approached the decoy, Magnus led it further and further away from the island. Finally, the boy shouted, "Now!" And he and Polly detonated the explosives. The decoy fish exploded in a massive blast, sending the water flying everywhere. The sea monster was dazed but not defeated. It turned towards the group ready to attack, but Captain Blackbeard had one more trick up his sleeve. He pulled out a bottle of rum and poured it in the water. The sea monster stopped at its tracks, sniffing the air. It seemed to waver for a moment, then turned and swam away, following the scent of the rum. The group cheered, jumping down in triumph. Magnus swam back to the island and they all gathered around the treasure. As they dug through the piles of gold and jewels, the boy couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and excitement at the adventure he'd just been on. Let's see. We got the treasure. The boy has to figure out a way back home. As the sun began to set over the horizon, the boy sat on the beach staring out at the ocean. He knew he had to find a way to get back home, but he wasn't sure how to do it. Suddenly, he heard a voice behind him. "Looks like you've had quite the adventure, young man." I don't know why I'm making him Irish. He turned to see Captain Blackbeard standing behind him, a kind smile on his weathered face. "Yes, I have, sir," the boy replied. "But I need to find a way back home." "But I need to find a way back home. Do you know how I can do that?" The pirate nodded. I do. You see, this island has a bit of magic to it. It can transport you to any place you desire if you know how to ask it." The boy looked at him puzzled. "Ask it? How do I do that?" Captain Blackbeard placed a hand on his shoulder. "You'll know, lad. Damn it. You'll know, lad. Just close your eyes and think of where you want to be. The island will do the rest." The boy closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He pictured his grandfather's office in mind, the antique globe sitting on the desk. He felt a tingle in his fingers, and when he opened his eyes, he was back in the office, the globe spinning on its axis. He grinned, feeling exhilarated and grateful for the adventure he'd been on. He looked up to see his grandfather standing in the doorway, a curious expression on his face. "What have you been up to, young man?" his grandfather asked. The boy shrugged, still caught up in the excitement of his adventure. "Oh, just exploring a little bit. But I'm glad to be back home." That was fun. That reminded me of the Magic Treehouse books. Those are fun. New story. Okay. The story begins with a 1980s DJ scratching vinyl records in a club. No. DJ Scratchy. No, we're not doing DJ Scratchy. Sorry. We can do better than that. Okay. I'm just gonna give him a name. DJ Stankdeck. Okay. Okay. That's more like it. DJ Stankdeck was in his element. The crowd was loving the old school hip hop beats and his turntable skills. He'd always dreamed of playing in this club, and finally, he had made it. His funky outfit, the colorful disco lights, and the classic vinyl records all contributed to the retro aesthetic of the place. The crowd was on their feet, dancing and having a great time. Suddenly, a group of robots burst into the club, led by evil DJ Bot 3000, who was determined to take over the club scene by force. DJ Stankdeck was not ready for this kind of battle, but he refused to back down. The two DJs engaged in a turntable battle that shook the club to its foundations. DJ Stankdeck's old-school hip-hop beats clashed with DJ Bot 3000's futuristic techno sounds. The crowd was torn between the two, unsure who would win. Let's see. We need to give him some sort of like advantage over the bot. Like he's got to channel some sort of energy. Yeah, okay. DJ Stankdeck channels mystical. No. Let me cancel that. DJ Stankdeck channels the energy from the records and uses it to enhance his performance to the next level. I'm going to say supercharge. Supercharge his performance to the next level. I'm gonna get some water. Water! DJ Stankdeck closed his eyes and let the energy flow from the records flow through him. Hold on, I'm gonna redo that. DJ Stankdeck closed his eyes and let the energy from the records flow through him. His fingers flew across the turntable, scratching and mixing at light speeds. The flashing lights and intense beats combined to create a powerful vibe that shook the club to its core. The crowd went wild, cheering and dancing to the music, completely caught up in the moment. DJ Bot 3000, impressed with DJ Stankdeck's musical powers, decided to team up with him to take down a common enemy, the evil club owner, who had been exploiting DJs for years. Together they hatched a plan to expose the club owner's shady practices and take back control of the club scene. Infiltrate the club owner's office. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's fire. I love that. DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000 donned disguises and made their way to the club owner's dark and sleek office. The atmosphere was suspenseful, with high-tech surveillance equipment monitoring their every move. They knew they had to be careful if they were going to gather the evidence they needed to take down the club owner. As they snuck past the security guards, they suddenly heard a familiar voice. It was none other than Will Smith, who had been hired by the club owner to perform at an upcoming event. Will Smith was surprised to see DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000, but he quickly realized that they were on a mission to save the club scene. Will Smith joined forces with DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000, and together they infiltrated the club owner's inner sanctum. They found the evidence they needed to expose the club owner's corrupt practices, and they made sure that justice was served. Celebrate, and then start planning for their next mission in the crowded club by using different vocal samples from records to speak. I'll change that to communicate. Damn it. Let's redo that one. Why is it not working? Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. Fixed. It still didn't work. One second. I realized what it was. It was not processing the image request because it had Will Smith's name in it, which is fair enough. Okay, fixed and fixed. There we go. DJ Stankdeck, DJ Bot 3000, and Will Smith celebrated their victory in the club. The colorful lights and the dancing crowd created a festive atmosphere. They all high-fived each other and toasted to their success. As they sat down to plan their next mission, they realized they needed a way to communicate without being overheard. DJ Stankdeck had an idea. He grabbed some records and started scratching them, using different vocal samples to convey their message. DJ Bot 3000 was impressed with his skills and joined in, using his own vocal samples to add to the conversation. Will Smith was amazed at their ability to communicate using only music. Together they started planning for their next mission, determined to keep the club scene safe from all those who would exploit it. Go on a completely different, unrelated mission. One second. Let me fix my hands again. Stupid hands. Stupid hands, you make me look bad. Okay. Hands are fixed. Crisis averted. Damn it. Okay, wait. Don't use Will Smith's name in the prompts. well. Okay. Okay. DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000 decided to take on a completely different, unrelated mission. They had heard that a sophisticated museum gallery had an art piece worth millions of dollars, and they couldn't resist the temptation to steal it. The intricate security system made it a challenging heist, but DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000 were up for the task. They donned their disguises and made their way into the museum. They snuck past the guards and made their way to the art piece. DJ Stankdeck used his skills to hack into the security system, while DJ Bot 3000 used his mechanical arms to disable the alarms. They successfully stole the art piece and made their way out of the museum undetected. As they celebrated their successful heist, they realized they had uncovered a new passion for stealing valuable items. They decided to take on more heists in the future, but they knew they had to be careful to not get caught. Do another heist with even higher stakes. It's extremely risky, and only the craziest would attempt it. DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000 couldn't resist the temptation of an even higher stakes heist. They had heard that there was a secret government facility with top-level security that housed a valuable item that was worth billions of dollars. Only the craziest would attempt to steal it, and DJ Stankbot and DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000 were just crazy enough. They spent weeks planning the heist, going over every detail and contingency plan. They knew the risks were high, but they were determined to pull it off. They used their music skills to distract the guards and disable the security systems. On the night of the heist, they put their plan into action. DJ Stankdeck played a hypnotic beat. I'm gonna start that over. DJ Stankdeck played a hypnotic beat that put the guards to sleep, while DJ Bot 3000 used his mechanical arms to disable the security cameras. They made their way to the valuable item, but they soon realized that it was heavily guarded by armed soldiers. DJ Stankdeck didn't let that setback stop him. He pulled out a record and started scratching it with incredible speed, creating a sonic wave that knocked out the soldiers. They successfully stole the valuable item, and they made their way out of the facility undetected. As they celebrated their successful heist, they knew they had taken their crazy and bold ideas to the next level. They decided to retire from their life of crime, knowing that they had pulled off the greatest heist of all time. But little did they know that their heist had caught the attention of a notorious crime boss who was determined to track them down and steal their valuable item. Let's see. They have a valuable item. What can they do with it? In a stroke of genius, they realized that they should hide the valuable item in plain sight, where nobody would ever think to look for it. Also, they stated what the item was. I want to know what the item is. Okay, wait. Also, they talked a lot about the item and how much they adored it, detailing all of its glorious features. DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000 knew they couldn't keep the valuable item in their possession for long. As the notorious crime boss was hot in their trail, they needed to hide it in a place where nobody would think to look for it. In a stroke of genius, they decided to put it on display at a local museum. They talked up the item, detailing of its glorious features and exaggerating their praise to make sure it would catch the attention of the public. They made sure to mention it to anyone who would listen, even going as far as to stage a fake argument over who loved the item more. It was all part of their plan to make the item seem less valuable than it really was, so nobody would think to steal it. The museum was thrilled to have such a valuable item on display, and it quickly became the talk of the town. DJ Stankdeck and DJ Bot 3000 watched from a distance, knowing they had successfully hidden the item in plain sight. But their celebrations were short-lived, as the notorious crime boss soon caught wind of their plan. He knew that the valuable item was still out there somewhere, and he was determined to find it. In a courageous decision, DJ Bot 3000 volunteered to shapeshift into the item. Hold on. No, it's not. Deleting. Let's see. Set up a booby trap to catch the notorious crime. No, hold on, wait. I don't want it to say notorious. Set up a booby trap to catch the crime boss as they flee the country and start a new life. It's a long ass prompt. Oh, did we reach the end? Oh no. We'll never know what happens. Well, that was fun. This stream was okay, but I will be back tomorrow with a better stream. Hopefully I'll be getting on earlier tomorrow. That way I can have a little bit more energy. I started a little bit sleepy today. But, yep. Thank you for watching. Let's see, and I start that up. Alright, but yeah, thanks for watching. Come back for more. And I'll be doing a lot of more crazier stuff, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with this. It's a good vibe.